Hi everybody, I'm Jamie Hamilton. This is my wife Linda, and we've been members at Church of the Ascension since 1994. Well, actually a little bit later than that, but we moved here to Cartersville in 1994. And both of us have grown up in the Episcopal Church from the cradle. And as a matter of fact, we met each other at Camp Michael way back in the 1980s, way back in the yesteryears. But I would say we've taken a lot of what we've experienced along that way and have been able to enjoy that and put that to use here at Church of the Ascension.
Early on, when we had young kids, I mean, we came to this church when James was a brand new baby, and I was maybe just barely pregnant with Stephen. So we had young kids, and it was a very natural thing for me to move into, say, Christian Ed and teach the classes that they were involved in, First Communion, Vacation Bible School. I participated and was the leader of for maybe 8 or 9 years. And as we have matured and our kids have grown up, we have transitioned into other ministries. And I think that was a natural evolution for us. Because other people have come in with young kids and they want to have a say-so of how those things take place. So the Vacation Bible School we've turned over, the Christmas Eve pageant has evolved into something really spectacular, but I did that for quite a few years. Now participating in the Eucharistic minister ministry, I will tell you that is by far the ministry that I miss during this time. I will say that it's a very intense thing when you're up in the sanctuary, and I've always sort of seen it as you're kind of like a backup singer. You're not the star, you're a supporting role to whatever needs to happen until the Eucharist comes along. And then it's a very personal thing when you're delivering the Eucharist, and I will never take it for granted again. I love it, and I miss it, and I miss my church family. So there you go, the waterworks flying.
I think being involved in these different ministries, in particular in worship and liturgy, it really is enriching and rewarding in ways that you don't really expect. But you look back at it over time and you realize that there are people in this church that have been involved in acolytes, let's say, and have helped raise our boys to learn and appreciate the church and the liturgy. And now in some of our roles, like myself with acolytes and Linda with Eucharistic ministers, we kind of feel like we're returning the favor a little bit. And I think what's so enriching and rewarding, at least from my perspective, is watching new generations of acolytes come up through the ranks and grow up and go off to college. And what you hope is that even years from now, when they're raising their own children, that those experiences they had here at our church will be important enough to them that they'll want to bring their children up in the same way. I think that means a lot to me personally. Another way I find a lot of meaning being involved in worship and liturgy is being up here and serving with all these other people here on a Sunday morning, or being here at 5:30 in the morning for an Easter vigil, and how special that is to have everyone with you, with the choir and the acolytes, the organist, the lay ministers. Everybody's here, and it's kind of like a special bonding family moment that means a lot. So if I were to answer the question of how being involved in liturgy and worship has impacted my life or changed my life or affected me, I think it's richly fulfilling for me. I feel like I'm performing a role that people have done for hundreds of years before me and are going to do for hundreds of years after me. In our case, roles that our parents have been involved in all the while that we were growing up, and so that means a lot, but I also think it's about the richness of the relationship that develops, not just with all the people that are participating in the service at the front that you see. We're in robes and people are reading and carrying crosses and torches and singing, and those are all really, really important aspects of liturgy and worship. But I think what's changed my perspective, having been involved in it for a good while now, is realizing that really the most important element of the liturgy and worship are the congregation. That is the living, breathing form of what liturgy and worship is all about. And that relationship between the congregation and the people that happen to be serving that Sunday. And we're all fortunate that many of us are not up there every Sunday, and we get to participate in the liturgy from here. And so I find it just as rich, either in the pew or being up there serving in any particular capacity. But I've just developed a much deeper appreciation and love for what we offer as a church, and the relationship that we built with each other through our liturgy and worship.
I think for the longest time I sat here in this pew with my kids and my husband and watched the liturgy unfold. I was aware of the liturgy because I grew up in the church and I knew about how special colors were and how everything was intentional. But when I actively became a part of worship and liturgy, and you're up there on the other side of the altar rails in the sanctuary, it becomes a much more intense experience. And the relationships that I form with the other people that I serve with, the relationships that I have with the people that come to the altar railing when I'm giving the chalice, it's all very powerful for me. So I don't take it for granted anymore. I am thankful for my church family. I am thankful for the community that we have here. It's like it's glue. Our liturgy is the glue that holds us all together. And I'm appreciative that I can be a part of it.